What is up, everybody? Happy New Year's Day. It is officially 2022. I hope you guys had a safe and happy New Year's Eve party. I'm currently doing this video on New Year's Eve and I'm hearing a bunch of fireworks going on, so that's cool. Everybody's celebrating, hopefully safe and sound. I hope you guys had a great holiday season. I hope you had a great Christmas, Kwanzaa, all of that stuff. But today is a special day because everyone's been pumping out their videos, top 10 4Ks of the year, but I wanted to wait till the year ended because I'm glad I did, because a few of my picks did not appear on some other YouTubers' best of the year. So now this isn't going to be some ultra professional, oh look, I got these sent to me by blah blah blah. I'm just a Joe Schmo who went out and spent their hard-earned money on these 4K titles, and I believe that these 4K titles are all worth your money. So these are in a list, but don't take them as, seriously as like the most definitive, like 10 is the least and 1 is the most. They're all worth your money, and it's just the ones that I suggest and the ones that I highly suggest. So these are my top 10 4K UHD Blu-ray pickups of 2021. Now, before we get into this list, no, Godzilla vs. Kong will not be on the list. My Fair Lady will not be on the list. Charlie and Chocolate will not be on the list. Not because I don't like the transfers. It's just that I'm a college kid. I don't have that much money to spend on all those 4Ks. And most of the 4K pickups and Blu-rays that I got were on sale, which were prior releases from 2019, 18, 17, 16. So they might be amazing. It's just I wasn't able to get around to paying, $30 for it. So these are the 4K films that you need that are worth every single penny. Now, starting off is number 1, and it is the Dracula 4K. I got the Steelbook because you can throw in the entire Universal catalog, the 1930s era monster flicks. Those are all well done. I saw a bunch of screenshots of the other films. I have Dracula and Frankenstein, but my favorite one is Dracula because it is my favorite of all of the movies, and it is so well done. HDR is so, because when people think of HDR, I think, oh, color gamut, but when it comes to black and white films, it has better highlighting on shadows, the blacks and the whites are rich, and the blacks have nice detail. There's no crushing detail. The image looks so great. What the biggest thing is that it was able to remove all those film degradations from an almost like it's a 90-year-old film. Like on the J card, it says 90th anniversary. It's a 90-year-old film, and it looks like it was made in the 50s or 60s. It's that clean. The biggest thing is the audio. The audio sounds so great. For being a 90-year-old film, you're expecting that but the audio sounds absolutely amazing. Everything is just so good, and if you're a fan of older films, black and white films, classic Universal monster films, you need to get this on 4K because it is the best this movie looks and will ever look, and it looks great in this collectible steelbook. I just love it. It looks very nice. So yeah. Number 10 is Dracula on 4K. Now, my number 9 pick is the October's most wanted 4K. I swear, this was like hard to come by. You'd have to go to different stores. You have to go on Amazon. They didn't sell it at Best Buy. I think they sold it at Best Buy in America, but I couldn't find it here in Canada. I had to go to Sunrise Records, and I pre-ordered this bad boy, and it is the Halloween 4K, the best Halloween has ever looked. And I know a lot of people just shunned it because like, oh, Lionsgate made their own version, or I think Lionsgate or MGM, one of those publishing companies made their own 4K, I believe a couple years prior. But this blows it out of the water because that was a 4K scan of the final cut. This is a 4K scan of the original camera negatives, and it shows everything looks so beautiful. I said this in a previous video, but this John Carpenter classic Halloween 4K is one of the best looking horror 4Ks out there. This makes a movie that came out over 4 decades ago look like it was filmed yesterday, but without the bullshit DNR, because I know a lot of people are heavy-handed when it comes to that. The colors look really nice. The orange leaves, especially the blacks, look really good without crushing. I know a lot of people have issues with HDR when it comes to black levels because sometimes it gets a bit too dark, but no, this is perfect, and it makes all the night scenes look really cool and detailed. And I just highly recommend, if you are a Halloween fan, a slasher fan, you owe it to yourself to own this version of Halloween on 4K. Now I'm just hitting it out with these with these horror 4Ks, because next is at number 8 is John Carpenter's The Thing. Wow, this was really hard to come by in Canada. I found it, funnily enough, at my local Walmart, and for $20, and that was a great deal, because this is one of the best looking 4Ks I've seen when it comes to this style of filmmaking, because you know these type of movies, they don't get the biggest, hugest budgets, right? But whatever money they do get, they spend it on the actual art of filmmaking, and that's why this 4K shines. Because not only is it a great movie, it was shot so well. The HDR looks so great, and then it makes the practical effects look so great. If you love practical effects and special effects and makeups and just anything, that comes with filmmaking, so great. Really good bonus features. It comes a lot of behind the scenes making of, and you'll learn a lot of stuff. It looks so good. All the gore scenes look so brutal and nice, and HDR looks great. Detail, black levels, and the white, because sometimes when you get a white picture when it's made on film, it looks a bit grayish, but this looks nice and pure white. It just looks amazing, and I highly suggest The Thing on 4K. Number 7 is, surprisingly, The Suicide Squad. Now, I had really low expectations coming into this film. Now, this was the first movie that changed my mind about modern movies on 4K. I usually used to brush it off because fake 4K CGIs are, edited down to 2K, but no, this movie has a 4K DI, and it looks absolutely amazing. This is one of the best modern films that you can get on 4K. Scenes shot on IMAX cameras look absolutely mesmerizing. The HDR is near demo quality. This is everything you want in a 4K, and shushes all of the naysayers when it comes to modern 4K transfers that are shot digitally. So this is a digitally shot film, and it looks absolutely amazing. You're gonna get that digital cleanness, that pure 4K goodness. I highly suggest The Suicide Squad on 4K. Next is the classic movie, one of my favorite movies of all time, and that is The Shawshank Redemption. Now, I don't know if I'm blind. I really love this movie. I really love this transfer. But there was one YouTuber who said this was one of the worst transfers of the year. And I'm like, really? He called it muddy and stuff. Like, I'm not here to throw hate, but everyone has their own opinion. I just felt like this was one of my favorite of the year. This movie is beautifully made, and the 4K transfer just makes it more of a stunning film to look at. The movie itself is often referred to as one of the best films of all time, and to have it on 4K just services it so much. It's one of the best upgrades from 4K to Blu-ray, with amazing HDR and with more accurate colors, because I know the other one might have been more vibrant, but it was just fake. Everything looked fake, everything was overly, saturated, and it just didn't really service the film. This is, a lot of people say this is muddy. No, it's just a dark film. This is about a guy who gets falsely convicted about murdering his wife. You think it's gonna have really nice HDR scenes? There is good HDR. It's not gonna be a beautiful, vibrant movie like Suicide Squad or something. But it's just, the audio track is great. The super sharpness for being I think almost a 30-year-old film. It looks absolutely great, and I just highly recommend this. This is a must-own for any fans of cinema. Now, next is Zack Snyder's Justice League. I originally first watched this on HBO Max, or what we have here is Crave TV here in Canada, and I just love this film. It's a great film. The 4 hours, it doesn't feel like I'm sitting there for 4 hours, and it's like this, when it comes to the image quality, it's like Suicide Squad, but it has more of a variety of gamut. When it comes to the HDR, it's not just ultra uber vibrant contrast. This has levels of darkness and black, and it doesn't crush. There's a lot of dark scenes where you're able to spot out detail, and it's just absolutely amazing. Sharpness at its finest. It makes this a pleasure to watch on my OLED. The HDR looks absolutely amazing. The Atmos track is amazing, with impressive range, great use of height channels, and an active soundscape. This is an absolute must own. If you love superhero films and you want a 4K superhero film, this is a must own. It's a great film, great looking 4K transfer, and I highly recommend it. Now, number 4, we're hitting those top numbers, and it is the 10 Commandments. Woo, wow, just wow. This movie might not be for everyone, being that it is an almost 4-hour film, and it is a bit slow at times. It's just, my jaw was dropped that entire 4 hours. You know, sometimes I have to rewind to get the story because I was just amazed at how this film looked. You couldn't even tell that this was a 65-year-old movie because it was shot on 70 millimeter with a 6K scan. It just looks so sharp and beautiful. This film is older than my dad, and it looks so good. It looks better. This film is absolutely beautiful. The colors look so rich and vibrant. The HDR is demo quality, and it's the reason why it's not my number one pick is that the audio is just a basic 5.1 track, but visually, oh my lord, this was a doozy to get through, and it was so amazing. Number 3, I didn't see this in any of the top 10 releases, and I don't know why, because this is an amazing film and it looked absolutely beautiful, and that is The Last Duel. Maybe it's because I came in with super low expectations, being that it is a 20th Century Fox, so it is a Disney release. You know, you're not gonna get the full disc. I think it's a 66 gig disc, but woo, did they pack in those 66 gigs, because the extras there's only a 30-minute extra. But wow, this is one of the best Disney transfers I've seen to date. Maybe because Ridley Scott has a beautiful eye for filmmaking, cinematography. Now, he's a proponent like Christopher Nolan. He only shoots on film. This is a great film, 4K DI, great looking film. HDR is great. A little iffy on when it comes to, because it has this blue overtone, which may take away from certain colors, but that's the kind of thing that he was going for. Sharpness is out of this world. Just you can have a great transfer. It's just depending on what you shoot. You know, some of these had better HDR or better image quality when it comes to sharpness, but they don't really shoot that much stuff. When this is being shot, this felt like a National Geographic, like one of those like special like Earth 2.0 or whatever, like films. Like this was so beautifully shot. The landscapes were shot so nicely that when it comes to a 4K transfer, it just services it so beautifully. It's also a great film. Great action, great storytelling, great image, great audio. You can't go wrong. That's why The Last Duel is my number 3 pick of the top 10 4Ks of the year. I haven't seen many people talking about this film, or when they do, it's very low on their list, and I don't know why, and that is No Time to Die, the last Daniel Craig James Bond film, and this is amazing. I wanted to put this on my number 1 film, but there are certain things that my number 1 film did that was a lot better in that than this. It's just the HDR looks so beautiful. The Atmos track is so well done, and it's one of those modern films that are made on film. I think 65 millimeter IMAX. The only reason why it's my number 10 is because they were cropped. Yes, I think it was a higher aspect ratio, but because I don't know, for some reason, for physical media, we're not getting that IMAX actual thing, that IMAX full depth, especially unless you're getting Christopher Nolan films. But this image was cropped during those IMAX scenes, which is kind of bummy. But the reds and everything, the color looks so good, and it is one of my favorite releases of the year. In fact, it's one of my favorite releases of all time because it's just a 4K lover's dream, an AV audio lover's dream. Because you don't have to be a super cinephile or a film buff to get into this film, because it's a great film, great action, and it looks beautiful. The image quality is amazing, sharpness, colors, sound looks great. Like I wasn't expecting how rich and bassy some of the sounds were. Even if this will work out your subwoofer, even like there's scenes where he passes by some guy listening to their radio and you hear the bass from that radio, and it looks absolutely crazy. So yeah, No Time to Die, number 2 on my best 4Ks of the year. Now, number 1, I'm actually surprised that no one has talked about this film, because this is one of the greatest films I have ever seen. Now, this might be a bit too artsy for some people. It is an A24 film, released by Elevation Pictures, and I'm just going to get to it. It is The Green Knight. Wow. Oh my God. This is such a beautiful film. This is, in comparison to The Last Duel, I would put it up there. This is my number 1 pick, and wow, this deserves it. I don't know why not that many people have talked about it, because of how, I didn't get around to doing a review for it because I kind of watched this before I was really into reviews. But it's just, the sharpness is amazing. The HDR is beautiful. This is an HDR demo quality film. The audio is also demo quality. Everything in this film is so beautifully shot, well made, and it's one of those artsy fartsy A24 films. So when that gets a 4K release, you know it's gonna look absolutely beautiful. I know it's a bit hard to come by nowadays because, you know, everyone just scooped them up. I don't know if it got a limited release, but here in Canada, where I'm living and where I got this from, I was able to snag it day one at my local Walmart. So I'm sad if you weren't able to pick this up this year, because this was a joy to watch. It could be a bit slow at certain points, but it's just a beautiful looking film, amazing looking HDR, sharpness is out of this world, you know, digitally shot film, so you're gonna get that clean, crispy 4K goodness. Again, audio is amazing, and I just want everyone to pick this up because this is such a blessing to your eyeballs and your earballs. Your earballs? You have balls in your ears? Anyways, those were my top 10 4Ks of the year. Let me know down below, what are your top 10 4Ks of the year? Any 4Ks that you got this year that you were genuinely surprised by? A lot of these films I was not expecting to enjoy, but I was actually ended up being very surprised by these films. Anyways, I am Mason from the Mockbuster YouTube channel. It means so much to me if you guys would hit the subscribe button, if you would like and comment down below, you know, engage with the video, because I love doing these videos and it just means a lot to me when people actually find good stuff out of it. I'm just not talking at a blank wall. But yeah, if you guys love, you know, top 10 list, 4K movie hauls, Blu-ray hauls, anything physical media, I do reviews now, and you know, I have a super high-end TV. I have a 65-inch OLED C1, so I have a premium end TV. So you know, when I'm talking about 4Ks and I say they're good looking, you know they're good looking because I'm looking at it at the most premium TV possible. Demo quality TV. You know, a lot of people say it's the best TV of the year. So anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, please stick around. Stay a while. If you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I release, because I post almost every other day. And please, most important of all, please have a good day, night, evening, afternoon. Whenever you watch this, please stay safe. God bless. I hope you guys had a happy holidays. For all the Orthodox people out there, Merry Christmas. It's almost Christmas. I hope you guys are celebrating with your family. I hope you guys celebrated this winter break. If you're in school, college, whatever, I just hope everyone who's watching this right now, I hope you guys the best wishes. I hope your 2022 is as fruitful and as successful and wonderful as it can be. I wish all of you the best, and thank you so much for watching the video, man. I am Mason from the Mockbuster YouTube channel. Peace, guys. At Baston.